Hello, everybody, and welcome to Office Hours, where we answer your questions about media and tech every single day. Today is Wednesday, which makes it audio day, at least in part. Courtney Gooden is our reader. Courtney, what do we have?
Well, first up from the Bay Area of California, that's a San Francisco area for those that aren't familiar to the Bay Area. Rocket asks, at Airship Studio, we need to send very low latency live program feed to a remote technical director. We currently use Unity, but we're open to other ideas.
Mickey McAchore is going to try to help you out here. Mickey?
Yeah, since Unity is already in the pipeline, I would probably consider running a local Unity intercom server or possibly a Unity Connect client on both sides in order to be able to transport point to point. Because right now, I believe with how the setup is currently run, the Unity server is running co-located at Mac Stadium. I don't know if Guy is aware if that is indeed the setup right now, but as far as I know, it's a Unity server co-located at Mac Stadium. So that means you're doing a hop from Airship to Mac Stadium to your TD. So that's an additional hop that's adding additional latency to the feed. I'd run things locally, point to point. I think that of course that would entail getting rid of the multiple layers of NAT in that setup. I believe depending on where the client, the Unity Intercom client is currently located, it could either be a double NAT situation or possibly a triple NAT situation from what I know with how things are currently built out. I would solve that issue. That is a big issue in any situation where you're dealing with remote operators or remote directors, multiple layers of NAT. No, just that's the first thing I would solve. Connectivity is number one in this situation. I would solve that first.
Guy Cochran wants to weigh in on this as well. Guy?
Yeah, we're looking for a little home in Discord where to put this, but Rocket, aka John Nichols, has put up some really nice whiteboard diagrams of these, so you guys can explore this, and maybe some folks in the community might have some additional thoughts on this. When I look at program, I know he's talking about audio, but I'm thinking of also the video side of this. How does he get, if he's not using Zoom? Because Zoom's nice, because it's easy to use and we know how to push program out. But on some of the shows where I've worked with Jonas and some other people, we've used higher quality, just basically meaning higher bit rate where we can throw 4K or we can just ramp that up if the TD needs to see things like focus, where it's on a bigger display. You could really, and especially the way Marcia calls, I was listening to those comms last night again. Man, you guys are going to be fascinated when you get to listen to that. I'm still seeking permission from the powers that be to be able to put that up for you guys, but you'll really enjoy it. I know the people that were live there on Sunday who did heed the call to the Discord message that went out and tuned in. It was hard to hear in that Zoom meeting, excuse me, because people didn't have individual control of the channels. But for people that were able to ISO it into Zoom or into vMix or Mimo Live and control the program feed versus the comms feed, it was very fascinating to listen to. But we'll stay tuned to this to the Discord and the channels. I asked Chad this morning to open up a new lab section so that we can start to detail this out. So that this question will hopefully flesh out as we look at the diagrams and have more people in the community study what's going on. And as Mickey was saying, get rid of that double NAT or possible triple NAT situation. It could be that we just have to ask the venue to remove something, or if we can get a dedicated line. I mean, it'd be nice just to have our own, just like, hey, Comcast, drop in, what is it, $100 a month or whatever. And because this could be a fascinating ongoing thing for office hours, is to figure this stuff out. I mean, a virtual playground for us all. So I'm excited about it.
Mickey McAchore, you want to get back in?
Yeah. With regards to the multiple NAT situation, you can if you can talk to the IT department that runs the main gateway, you can port forward things so that we can get direct VPN connections or port forwarding connections to the additional gateway. I believe it's the Dream Machine Pro that's acting as the main router for the Airship office hours project. On top of that, they could possibly, if they want to invest money, if I don't know who who would be in charge of it, if it would be Elad from Airship or us in office hours, perhaps paying for additional public IP from, I believe the ISP is currently AT&T, get an additional public IP address that can be assigned to our gateway or our router. That's another option. But yeah, in terms of also low latency video monitoring, if there are any additional machines in there, I would probably look at getting some sort of WebRTC, like web encoding. Again, something that would be point to point, as opposed to something that has to bounce to Zoom servers up in the cloud and then back down. Something that can get just direct communication from the studio to where your crew is, would essentially half the would give us half as much latency as we're getting now. Another option for just program audio monitoring is audio movers. They have a listen to service that a lot of mostly actually recording studios are or mixing studios are familiar with, and it's usually used for remote artists and remote producers to be able to QC or listen to mixes that are happening in a different part of the world. That's another option, and it's certainly much more cost effective than a Unity intercom server or a Unity Connect license.
Next question.
Next question comes in from Zach Stallsmith in Chautauqua, New York. Zach asks, what are the differences between a MixPre 3 and any Focusrite model when using them for capturing spoken word only?
Ronnie Hofsoy in Tromsø, Norway is going to help us out with this. Ronnie?
Yeah, so it depends what you're going to use this for. Spoken words can be done both in a studio facility or in an office or maybe out on the road or even remote in the woods, so to speak. And these are typically two different types of usage scenarios. We tend to use the MixPre when we are on the move, and also in the studio where we have, for instance, a 3 or 4 person panel that are discussing. And especially if we have less time to do the post-production. So if we are going to deliver something really, really fast, we tend to use the tools that are included with MixPre, both AutoMix and Noise Assist. And what we tend to do is just have all tracks recorded in MixPre, and we have a Noise Assist applied to for instance, the left channel. That way we can send off the product very, very quickly after the recording has been stopped. In another situation where we have a lot of time afterwards, we could be using some of the Focusrites, but be aware that there are two type of different products, even though they both are functional as an interface for your computer. The MixPre is more like a portable recorder with relatively high quality preamps and a lot of functionality inside the box itself. Whereas Focusrites are more like just a sound card, and you depend more on what you are going to do with that inside your computer or DAW. So it depends on the situation. And of course, MixPre has a little bit better preamps and 32-bit recording, which is not that sensitive if you have people screaming and whispering in the same recording, whereas most of the other ones from Focusrite is not having the 32-bit recording. So that is a few differences between those two products.
Mickey McAchore.
Yeah, Ronnie touched on this, but the main difference is the MixPre product line is a product line of location sound recorders, whereas the Focusrite, Focusrite generally makes audio interfaces that convert analog audio into digital, that goes into a computer. That's the main difference of them. If you are recording in a studio environment, wherein you're recording to a DAW in a computer, I would go with an audio interface from Focusrite. If you are doing field recording, where you're going to another location, you just need to set up a mic and capture sound, then I'd get a MixPre. Totally different use cases between these two products and brands.
Next question.
Next question comes in from Ray Cranch in Tucson, Arizona. Ray asks, where does clean audio become sterile, and how should intentional imperfection be managed?
And Jeff Cohen's going to start us off on this one. Jeff?
I'm not sure how much intentional imperfection you should force onto the situation, because the unintentional perfection usually rears its ugly head. Now, of course, it depends whether we're talking about live or post-production. In post-production, where you hear it a lot, especially now people just using these AI editors, is they kill all the noise in between, and with all the noise processing down to absolute zero. And that's where it starts to, and you can a lot of times even hear it, and that's where it sounds unnatural. That just dropped to absolute zero, maybe between people talking, or those pauses between people talking. So other than that, I'm not sure you need to force any intentional imperfection.
Mickey?
Yeah, I'm curious what exactly you mean by imperfections, and what exactly you're trying to clean up. If it's something that's really a noise that you would not want your audience to hear, clicks, someone, a plosive on a microphone, something like that, then you definitely, because all of these types of noises, just like the ding that came through my laptop's speaker, so email coming in, all these noises will distract your audience. But if you're talking about, say, something like natural reverberation in a space, for example, you have someone speaking in a large hall or a cathedral. If you're talking about the reverb of a space like that, that is something that I would tend to want to keep, with to a certain extent, with balance, of course, because that pushes me towards a specific narrative. And you have to keep that in mind. What is the narrative you're trying to push? If you're trying to push someone powerful in a big space, hearing verb may help emphasize that. And you may even want to add additional, like, say, if you're mixing in surround, or even in Atmos, you may want to push some additional verb with that, not just the natural verb that's coming through the recordings, but generate additional reverb that comes through your height channels in Atmos or from your rears, and give that sense of space and room. It's all when it comes to that, it's all about telling the story. What are you trying to convey? But technical imperfections, though, keep that out.
Next up is, I'm sorry, I've got something in front of it. Courtney Gooden. Courtney, dive in. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I think the only reason you'd use intentional imperfection, if you're doing something, recording something for a dramatic piece, something for a film or dramatic television, scripted television program, where you want to establish camera perspective. A lot of times, if you have your actors on, you're doing a big wide shot and you've got a camera shooting close up at the same time. You have a lav on them, which you're forced to use because you can't get a boom microphone in close enough to them. So you're stuck on that lav track, and they cut to the wide shot, and it sounds like they're right next to the microphone. It kind of gives your brain a disorienting effect because you kind of don't know who's talking. Is this the voiceover announcer, or am I hearing the people that are two tiny little figures in the middle of that field over there? So they mix in a lot of ambient sound or imperfection into that over the clean lavalier recording to give it more of a camera perspective, and to cue your brain into something like, oh, those are those people over there, even though, from your point of view, you may not be able to hear the conversation that's going on. They color it a little bit with a wider perspective sound to cue the dramatic effect for dramatic effect. Also, there's imperfections that you can add to indicate where a person is talking from, like telephone, something coming over a speaker, a radio announcer coming over a speaker, a telephone conversation, somebody on the other end of a telephone conversation. You may record that clean, and you have to filter it for dramatic effect, so it sounds like it's coming from where it's coming from. So that would be when you add intentional imperfection, or if you have a person on camera who's using a handheld mic and they're right on top of it, you may add a little bit of distortion to make that sound a little more realistic, even if you're using the microphone, boom microphone from overhead to actually capture that audio.
Ronnie Hofsaway.
Yeah, it's all depending on what you're going to do. So if there is a live recording of a band in the studio, of course you need to have clean channels, and then you will add some imperfections afterwards to get the right mood in the music. So it has been mentioned a lot that the ambience is really important to add to the tracks to create the soundscape or the sound or the vision of the producer that is doing this. In a conference, for example, that I think Courtney mentioned, if you have a lavalier or something on stage and the person presenting is talking and blah, 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 and then you just mute that until the host comes in from stage right and start introducing the next person. The worst thing I experience is the abrupt noise cut. There is nothing more left in the audio, and just being able to add some of the ambience from the room noise is really important to have this kind of flowing audio coming through. And it doesn't need to be very high, and this is something we also do record when we are doing live recording of concerts. We of course need to have audio from the audience, etc., and point of view condensers out towards the audience is really important to have on the track as well.
Guy Cochran.
Yeah, yesterday in Jeff Keithley's What Makes It Tick meeting, we had a little discussion with Andy Lipnick, and he turned us on to this video involving this new D-feedback mechanism that he shared an example, and I just put it in the chat for the previous question because it does use a Focusrite. There's an example where they have this church with a bunch of reverb, and there's some feedback coming in, and in this example, he lets you hear it, and then he turns on another mechanism. I can't remember the name of it, but he lets you then hear how sterile it becomes, and it's shocking how it sounds like he's in a vocal booth and he's standing in front of a lectern. And we have the same problem at our church. And I'm like, I'm a believer. I want to spend. It's like $1,100. But Andy was saying that this is a industry changing piece of gear. So really take a listen to that before you spend any money. Go take a listen to that video and see what you think, especially that part of the church.
Mickey, you wanted to get back in?
Yeah, I just want to add as well, in the world of post-production sound, like both for narrative as well as unscripted, when a show goes through a show or a TV or a film goes through post sound, one of the first steps is the dialogue editing step. That's where you go through all your takes, pick words or syllables from multiple takes to build the perfect take for your scene. And in that process, you are when there are gaps in the dialogue. For example, someone says something and then they take a beat or two, and then they continue talking. You add what is referred to as fill, and that is the natural ambience of that location where this film was, where that scene was shot, and that's typically taken from a room tone take that we do on set. Or sometimes we piece, 4 frames of room tone here, 10 frames of room tone there to build, a couple seconds of room tone to add that fill. Because what's more distracting than a noise environment is noise that goes in and out of your scene. Humans are great at adapting to noisy environments. That's why, like, if we were walking in the street, we forget that there are buses driving around, cars driving around, noise all over us. We adapt to it. But when something changes like that, especially like from cut to cut, from from shot to shot, that really takes us out of the scene and uh, removes our suspension of disbelief. So it's important if something's going through post-production sound, or even if you're just a video editor cutting something that will go straight out to air without going through post sound, make those cuts smooth. If you have a portion where you have nothing there, find some tone, find some silence. If you don't have a room tone take, piece it together, crossfade between, 2 dozen short little clips of room tone. Smoothen that cutout. And that would certainly help you maintain the focus of your audience.
I was shocked that most people here know I do a little work on the audiobook spectrum, and I've heard from more than a few people on the forums for those of us who do audiobook narration that they've gotten fails from the big audiobook distribution platforms because their noise floor was too low. They don't want absolute silence. As everybody has mentioned here, it can be a terrible distraction, particularly if it's not consistent through something. But even if it's consistent, I was surprised. Even if it's perfectly quiet through the whole thing, nobody records in anechoic chambers because you don't want complete silence. Next question.
Next question comes in from our QR code in Makana. Bill Packard from Shippensburg, Pennsylvania. Is there any time where an analog mixer still makes sense? It seems so limited and noisy these days.
We're going to go right back to Courtney to start us off here. Courtney?
Well, it depends. And Mickey is going to come up next too. It depends. I worked for a recording studio for many years, long after digital consoles were the thing. And they stuck with their 40-year-old analog consoles because everybody loved and came to that sound recording studio because they loved the sound of that console. And these analog consoles, a lot of them with input transformers. Some people like the way that input transformers add a little bit of distortion to the sound that's a little pleasing to the ear, and it takes a little bit of the edge off of a clean, digital preamp. So it depends on your taste. People have gone back to vinyl, for Christ's sake. It's, hey.
The algorithms to add clicks and pops, though.
Who would think that vinyl is more popular than digitally recorded CDs these days? So it depends on your taste and what you're listening for. Some people like the distortion, the smoother distortion that you get in an analog mixer. But yeah, you're going to have to deal with self-noise. If it's a good analog mixer with clean preamps and maybe a good input transformer from Jensen. Sometimes a lot of people appreciate the old analog over the digital. You can play with it later in digital, as far as adding things to it. But, a lot of people still like those analog sounds.
Mickey.
Yeah, I think whatever tool gets you the product that you want at the very end easier and quicker, it's a tool you should use. And if that's an analog desk, then use an analog desk. Use the right tool for the job. If you're mixing a festival and you have, a 90 input band with a 15-minute changeover, we might not want to use an analog desk for that. If you are mixing just, the main act, and I'm talking in context of a live event, like in-person event, a concert. If you're mixing the main act, and you can get the sound that you want so much quicker with an analog desk, with some outboard gear, outboard processors. Dave Rat comes to mind, mixing Chili Peppers back then. Why not? If you're thinking that the analog desks are noisy, maybe you're comparing like a really cheap, noisy, a cheap desk, analog or digital will sound like a cheap desk. Hello, Behringer. So use the right tool for the job. Whatever gets you there faster and easier, that's a solution for you.
Ronnie Hofsoy.
Yeah, I'm just going to throw in an argument here. If you know what you're doing on a decent analog desk, you will probably make better sound than if you didn't know how to use a digital desk. And an example of someone that has used this type of technology to tell a story is Daft Punk on their recording called the Random Access Memory, or RAM, where they used a lot of money, and a lot of those dollars went to actually getting hold of older analog equipment, so that the sound of the equipment from that part or that century or years that they were trying to recreate, they did use equipment from that time period. So it's all about the story you want to tell. If you're willing to tell the story with the equipment that was back in the days, of course you would choose to use that same equipment. So it's all about the storytelling, I think.
Mickey, you wanted to come back in?
Yeah, I wanted to mention as well that aside from synthesized sounds, all audio starts in analog and ends in analog. Microphones capture a vibration, turns it into a voltage that's in the analog realm, goes to your desk, and if it's a digital desk, it does an analog to digital conversion. On the way out, it gets converted back to analog so that you can ship it out to loudspeakers, or if you're broadcasting it, people will listen on their TV speakers or their headphones or studio monitors. All of those are in the analog realm. So I would have no qualms using a high quality analog desk because everything starts and ends in analog.
Guy Cochran, you want to hop in?
Yeah, I want to poke the Mickey Bear since he's on
Fun.
panel. So here's the analog version of a mixer where it has its time and place, and then here's the Courtney version that also is a modern. So different tools. This one still has an analog XLR out, but it also has AES out. So I could have high quality preamps with this one. Nice, big, brilliant, calibrated VU meters and tone generation. Whereas this, even though it can record and has 32-bit, okay, Mickey's busting out the big boys.
Uh-oh.
All right,
we're
I
in a
started the
hardware war,
Here we
ladies and
go.
gentlemen. Please put on your
Stand by.
helmets. All right. Mickey, what do you hold it up? I want this to go on. So is that the sound?
This is an older generation, a 6 series sound device is 633, and
okay.
just like Gaia was saying, this is a digital mixer, but it has analog and digital I/O. It has analog in as well as AES in. It also has analog out and AES out. So, but yeah, as Gaia was saying, like right now I'm also speaking through. How old is this thing? Almost 20-year-old sound device is 744T. Again, has analog and digital I/O. And for me, like the best pipeline for what I use in meetings, like right now, is this, because it acts not only as my preamp but also my A to D converter. So it's again, use the right tool for the job.
You're getting a good lesson in why our most frequent answer here on Office Hours is, it depends. Next question.
Another one coming in from the QR code. Susan Clark in Miami, Florida asks, how should spatial and immersive audio change microphone technique, not just playback format?
Ooh, interesting question, Susan. Thank you. Jeff Cohen's going to start us off here. Jeff?
First of all, hello to my neighbor here in Miami, Florida. There's a few things that I see people do. First of all, be mindful, even just simply when we're talking about stereo. You'll see this. I'm a fan sometimes of popping in the earbuds and listening to some ASMR. And if you watch, sometimes the simplest mistake is they'll have two microphones, and they'll forget that things are backwards when the viewer is watching. So right is left and left is right. And they're going over to the microphone on the right, but you hear them in the left. So simple things can really be disorienting if that's done wrong. And so playing to where your microphone placement is key. And then the flip side is not to do it just for the sake of doing it, not to make it like a gimmick. I mean, I heard a great keynote in the early days of graphical UI design even, and the presenter simply said, just because you have 100 different fonts to choose from doesn't mean you need to use all 100 fonts in one design. So in other words, you don't need to make it a gimmick. It should be natural, and if it fits with what you're doing, whether it's just pure audio only or audio video, that's where it really shines, is when it feels natural working the different mics.
You caused me to think in that answer about crossing the line in the video realm, where somebody who's moving stage left to stage right on stage, from the audience perspective, they're moving stage right to stage left. And I had never until this moment thought about that in terms of spatial audio, but it works exactly the same way. That's fascinating. Courtney, you want to weigh in on this?
Yeah, well, when you're talking about spatial or immersive, microphone technique or placement does make a difference. Usually, if you're going to use something like ambisonic, it requires a specific microphone placement because it's encoded into a matrix, and to capture the environment of sounds. Typically, spatial or immersive audio, that, let's say, dialogue, that positioning in space is all handled in the encoder in post-production. So that is handled in the specific encoder for Atmos, let's say. So you position that object where you want in 3D space at a later time, and it generates the correct delays and time shifts and phase differences that tell your brain that thing is over in that specific position. And if you're recording, there are things like binaural recording, where the microphones have to be, like in a dummy head, like this Neumann $9,500 chunk of plastic.
Hans.
2 microphones. Hans.
At that money, it should make lunch for me.
It has the microphones in the ears themselves, so that you, with binaural recording, it's designed to be played back on headphones, so you get a very accurate position in your brain from the phase differences between the sounds that arrive in those particular dummy ears. So it does make a big difference if you're trying to do something like that for immersive or spatial recording or binaural recording that's designed to be played back in a pair of headphones. But otherwise, other than environmental beds, atmospheric beds, if you're just recording, the sound of the forest, let's say, that you want that kind of immersive sound, you might use something like ambisonic pickup or binaural pickup and use that as a bed, and then put your dialogue and other things that are cleanly recorded, and it doesn't matter what type of microphone technique is necessarily used, because placement is going to happen in post-production.
Mickey, you're up.
Yeah. Susan doesn't, you don't mention specifically first what content you're mixing. Is this a live event, a concert? Is this a narrative film, a feature length? Is this just like plain music without any video sync to counterpart to it? And also, is this live, or is this something that will go through post-production? And also, what format, specifically what format of immersive sound you're talking about? Is this 5.1, channel-based 5.1, 7.1? Is this Atmos? Is this what do you call it? Something that will go out to a binaural playback system, because a lot of these will dictate what would make mixing easier. All of this boils down to the mixing, like your microphone choice and placement, and microphone techniques will, at the end of the day, help you to get that appropriate mix. If you're doing 5.1 or 7.1 for a narrative, that's pretty straightforward. You have your boom, your lav, dialogue lives dead center. Rarely does it go away from dead center. But say if you're mixing for a VR or XR environment or playback system, those types of formats tend to want you to play around a bit more. So with those, if you're doing a narrative for that, you want everyone to be laved up. And lavs will be your primary source for those because you want as much isolation as possible so that you can fly voices around your mix environment. Rarely will you be relying on your boom as your primary for that, because in situations where you're doing shooting, say 360, then you can't really get your boom in. So you'll definitely be relying on lavaliers for dialogue in those situations. If you're capturing a concert or a live event, then in any mixing situation, the more channels you have, the better, because the more control you have for those, and the more accurate you can pinpoint the source or the panning of those channels around. It may be helpful to have a 5.1 or even an ambisonic microphone captured in that live environment, like in that concert, so that you can use that as a very low bed, so to place things in the your mixing sound stage. But primarily, you'll be relying on ISOs for those as well, so that you can accurately place things as much as possible. But yeah, your it's a whole multiple layers of it depends. It depends. So if you can be more specific if you want to ask another question, be more specific with what you're trying to do, then we can dive in deeper with those.
Ronnie Hopsoy.
Yeah, I'm going to just do a shameless plug here for a fellow Norwegian, which is called Morten Lindberg. And he has a studio and is well known for doing very advanced productions in this specific area. And this is a picture of one of his contraptions, I would call
Less
it.
a deca tree and more a deca forest. Is that what I'm seeing here?
Yeah, this is really advanced. I'm going to put the link for this video. This is a piece they did together with DPA. So I'm going to put the link to this YouTube video. If you're into immersive audio recording, you should definitely take a look at this video. It's really, really amazing.
Nice. Next question.
Next one comes in from Portsmouth, Maine, I guess. And Harold Williams says, I want to simulate how Apple Music displays lyrics when I add lyrics to our video wall. What tools would you use to achieve this HDMI output?
Going right back to Ronnie for this one. Ronnie, what do you think?
I'm not sure what this is being used for, if it's house of worship or if it's a live type of session of other types. But normally, if it's house of worship, I know ProPresenter would do this hands down, very easy. The times I've done it, we typically use QLab, sometimes other ways, and it depends if it is live music you are going to add the lyrics for. Is this something that is being done through a playback or a playout? You can of course sync that. If it's live, it's a little bit more messy, but I would choose a solution where you can control everything, either through MIDI or sync it to the light board if that's possible. It's really important to have the synchronization done in pre-production, and there are multiple ways of doing that. So hit us up on Discord and we can discuss that further.
Mickey?
Yeah, I would second what Ronnie mentioned. ProPresenter, very, very popular with houses of worship. You can trigger each lyric or line of lyric manually, or you can have ProPresenter chase. Say if you're playing back tracks for your house of worship band, or if you're having the lighting desk run the show, as Ronnie mentioned, you can have ProPresenter chase timecode or chase OSC messages. Or the other way around, you can have ProPresenter run the show and everything else chases ProPresenter. I think most people have it chase Ableton Live or Logic or whatever they're using for tracks playback. But I would number one for me would be ProPresenter. In a pinch, you can build something with an NLE. Resolve is free. You can build something there manually. Put in a recording of the track as a guide track to create your video there. Or you can even use something like Keynote or PowerPoint to build a video file. Of course, if it's a locked video file, you don't have any flexibility in terms of timing. If everyone has to play at the correct tempo every single time, unless you're triggering the slides manually from a Keynote or PowerPoint. But it's certainly less elegant than having something that is purpose-built like ProPresenter to do this.
Next question.
Okay, next question comes in from Jeremy Horn in the San Francisco Bay Area. And Jeremy asked, does anyone have experience using Beyerdynamic Aventho 100 headphones? Looking to find something collapsible but still sound close to my DT770s and DT880s. I must carry less Pelican cases. Thanks.
Courtney Gooden has raised his hand on this one. Did you look him up, Courtney?
Yeah, there is a difference between the two, even though they're both buyer choices. These are on-ear headphones that sit on the surface of your ear, the Aventho 100s, and they fold a little bit flatter, kind of like some of the Sonys do. And of course, your DT 880s are over the ear, so they give you more sound isolation. They go, over the top. They go over the top of your pinna on your ear, and so they seal around the top of your head. The others sit on the pinna, so sound from the outside leaks in around the edges. So you don't get as much sound isolation, and you get a little better bass response probably off the DT880s than you will off the Aventho. I have not tried the Aventho 100 to let you know what I think of their capsule. The particular speakers that are inside each headphone. So they probably are equivalent in quality, but the difference is sound isolation.
Next question.
Next question's from Jason Robertshaw in Sarasota, Florida. Anyone heard about anything awesome about audio tech from CES yet?
Yeah, we're in day 2, as I understand it. Started on the 6th and runs to the 9th. So usually right at the start of the show, there's all sorts of press releases going out there. Jeff Cohen raised his hand. Jeff, have you been following what's happening at CES?
There's a number of things that caught my eye, not all necessarily good things, but things that have been introduced. So for starters, sure, if anyone has seen this before, Shure had this little bitty mic that you could pop into the lightning port of your iPhone. So they have updated this little doodad with a USB-C version of it. Now, I'm not even sure that I've ever heard audio from the original, so I don't know if this is a good thing. I mean, a lot of times, of course, people are recording video now, so it's a little sketchy. You'd have to kind of angle it towards the person if you're trying to do an all-in-one interview with this. Otherwise, maybe it's better if you're jamming it in front of the person you're trying to capture. So I don't know. We'll see if that's a good thing. The next thing that caught my eye is Audio-Technica has come out with a new vinyl turntable. So I don't know how many people that are going to like that, but it's a new fancy turntable. This is interesting. Pioneer has released now there's a couple cars, of course, that have Dolby Atmos, but Pioneer announced this new in-dash retrofit, kind of a universal for cars that can go in that does Dolby Atmos, and this is their site that I'm showing on screen. What's interesting, of course, is because it's made for, to retrofit into cars, it's got some tech that, in theory can measure and adjust for the acoustics in the particular car it's going in. It's made out of the box to work with a typical 4-speaker setup, but if you have or mount additional speakers, it can do more fancy immersive. So that's fascinating. I'm not sure how many cars still actually can be retrofit. They seem so specialized. I don't know. I certainly cut my teeth on having my entire car taken apart practically with everything sitting in the driveway just so I can put in custom sound and speakers and everything else. But I don't know how viable that is nowadays. But this is cool that you can retrofit Dolby Atmos into your car.
And for those of you who are interested, I noted that they're doing live streaming from CES and long schedule. Today they're going until 6:40 p.m. Then Wednesday and Thursday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. both days, some sort of live stream schedule. So I just went to the CES main website, and that's the schedule that they're publishing. So if somebody wants to take a look and see what their coverage is like, got no idea personally. Haven't taken a look at it yet, but there you go. Next question.
Next one comes in from Jack Cannon in Phoenix, Arizona, looking for a recommendation for mic choice and mic placement of a lavalier in a motorcycle helmet for clarity at speed. The Sanken Cos11D is our default, but open to recommendations based off real-world use.
Okay, we're going to go to Ronnie first for this. Ronnie?
Yeah, so story goes like this. I have, of course, Harley Davidson I'm using in the summers, which we have a few days of each year. And I have my integral microphone that I have an interface that I can take out. And that is, of course, mounted on the right side of the mouth, and I can adjust it a little bit up and down. This is a really high quality microphone that is hidden behind the soft plush here. And what I do when I take down so this is my open helmet. So when I take down the helmet here, I make sure that the wind protection underneath the helmet, underneath my chin, is of course on the underside of it, and I push the microphone towards the outer shell of the helmet. Another way I have been doing this, sorry, I'm just going to put it down. Another way I'm doing this is actually by using DJI mics. So I have them wirelessly connected to the recording device, if it's the camera or maybe a DJI camera or a separate recorder like the MixPre. I can just put that on the side and make sure that I have the plush on top of it, and make sure it's securely fastened so I don't lose it. I've done that a few times. And the same goes if you're going to use a COS11. Just put it to the side and have it as close to the mouth as possible, but not directly in front. Put it a little bit to the side like we do with all types of microphones.
My first question, Ronnie, is when you wear that, how much do you look like Darth Vader? Just need to know.
I can put it on to the end of the show.
It's Courtney Gooden's up next. Courtney?
Well, I'd go with Ronnie's recommendation because he's obviously a user. I am not crazy enough to get on a motorcycle at my age. So I don't have any personal experience with this other than putting them on other people. And it depends on your purpose for that microphone. If you're trying to record dialogue for a dramatic show or something, different type of microphone. I'd go with, a high quality like a Sanken or one of the full frequency responses microphones and put it inside the helmet, shielded from the air in a full face covering helmet. But, if you're doing something for dramatic, it's covering your whole face, you're going to loop it anyway, so you're not going to see your mouth moving inside there, so you can lay that dialogue in cleanly later. If you're looking at using it for communications, there are a number of helmet manufacturers. This is from Cena. They make a Phantom family with built-in communications microphones and earphones built into them that are designed with Bluetooth connections, and they have noise canceling built into a lot of them. So if you're just going to use them for communications, there's a variety of full-face helmets there with built-in comms microphones in them. That might be a good choice to get a nice clear for talking back and forth between different cyclists or for communications over radio to central station.
Mickey.
Yeah, thinking of it from a point of view of you want the microphone to be concealed. Because I really like Ronnie's solution where there's a gooseneck there, but it's not exactly the most concealed way to rig a microphone. If they open up your helmet, you'll see the gooseneck. I would stick with Cos11s, but depending on what type of motorcycle it is, how loud it is, and also your talent, you may want to consider going for a red dot Cos11D. Red dot means there's a resistor in there, an attenuator in there that brings the signal down by 9 dB, and that will help you in terms of getting you a bit more headroom in your capture. Because if you mount the microphone right in front of their mouth or to the side of their mouth in the helmet, and their helmet is closed, and they start yelling because it's say if it's a really loud motorcycle, they start yelling. You may clip it directly at the microphone even before your preamp. So going for a red dot, or I guess some call it the red mark version of the Cos11D, would give you a bit more headroom. Now, thinking of what Ronnie mentioned, goosenecks, amazing solutions from DPA. They have gooseneck extensions that are micro lock that you can use with standard DPA microphones, and you can rig it with sewing it in, or maybe some tape and some gaff tape magic in there with this gooseneck, or you can get a gooseneck microphone from DPA, the 4997 micro shotgun, very popular for rigging in cars especially. But I can see how you can also somehow rig it up in a within a helmet. You'd of course want some wind protection there. I'm a big fan of Bumblebee Industries, their wind protection for lavaliers and small microphones, as well as their solutions for shotguns. I like those as well. But they have the wind bubble, and also this is the wind bubble Pro, and this is the standard wind bubble. They come in different colors that will help you conceal depending on what color the lining is inside the helmet. Or you can even get a large this pack of, they call it piece of fur, and it's just a pack of like long-haired fur that's flat, and you can cut it to size and rig the cable through the helmet however you want, sew it in or tape it in, and this just standard bag of fur can really be useful.
It does make you look like you're eating a tribble, though.
Piece of fur is the best product name I've ever heard, because that's what they're selling.
but yeah, and it's they're great problem solvers when you need to rig stuff up. I would not mount your transmitter, or if you're using a body pack recorder, I would not mount it in the helmet, inside the helmet especially, because that would your helmet's supposed to protect your talent or your rider. So you'd want to mount the transmitter or the recorder, a body pack recorder, possibly on the body of your talent. And for those, I'm a big fan of straps from Orsa Straps. They have all sorts of straps, different colors, different sizes. Ones that mount the transmitter vertically, horizontally, all sorts of different, you can get leg straps, thigh straps, like so many options from Ursa, and I really like their products. I think I recall, Jack, you posted a question, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, about recording effects at the same time on a motorcycle. I like doing this, especially if I have time on set. I'll rig a microphone near the exhaust, tons of character there. If the intake is also interesting to listen to, I'd also mount a microphone there. You can do so much, and your sound effects department, your post sound department will be so thankful to have live effects recorded on set. For those, I really like. I have two of these Lectrosonics SPDR Spider, and it stands for Stereo Portable Digital Recorder from Sound Devices. It's a recorder that has two TA5 inputs on top, and I wish they had the better photo of it. But yeah, it has two TA5 inputs. TA5, the standard connector for electrosonic transmitters. So you can plug two microphones in there. It will record them in both channels. Or you can even do a dual record where one channel, I think, is padded 10 or 20 dB lower than the other for safety. But yeah, being able to have a body pack recorder, very, very high quality body pack recorder that can take in two microphones and can be jammed with timecode, really, really useful. So yeah, those are some things I'd take a look at.
Ronnie wanted to come back in right before I finish up. I'm going to say, those of you in the Mukana system, if you actively vote on things, we have a lot more questions, and we're not going to have time to get to that many of them. So anybody who votes right now, you can push things up in the queue, and maybe we can get to the favorite questions before we finish. Ronnie, you wanted to say something else?
Yeah, I'm just going to add to what Mickey said, and the placement of the microphone is really important. I've tested 10 to 15 positions of microphone getting the audio that I really love and like. And depending on who you are creating this sound for, if you're creating it for bystanders that are just watching you pass by, that's one thing. But if you're actually creating this audio for the person driving, so the subjective angle where you are sitting on the motorcycle, there is basically just one position, and that is as close to your ears as possible, but protected from wind. I've tested every position: down on the left side, down on the right side, at the engine, at the exhaust, at the back tire, at the front tire. There is no other position than close to your head where you're getting the audio that you're used to listening to from your bike.
Nice. Mickey?
Yeah, and Jack mentioned in chat that it's for dialogue for a documentary. So think of the treatment of, I assume you're directing this, Jack. Think of the treatment of how you want it to sound like. Are you looking for the hyper-realistic cinematic sound that's not, it is highly exaggerated, and for that type of sound, you certainly want your exhaust and intake noises there. But if you're looking for something a bit more true, a bit more realistic, you may want to bring those microphones a little further away from the actual source of sound and get more of the ambience and get more of the road noise, the tire noise, as Ronnie mentioned. And I also I found a better photo of the SPDR. So this is the top of the SPDR, 2 TA5 inputs, standard 5-pin Mimo for jamming timecode. You can also monitor plug-in headphones there. While you're setting up, you can have them rev it up a bit, and you can listen to what it sounds like. But yeah, great problem solver.
Okay, let's see how many more of the rest of these we can get through. Let's start with the next question.
Coming in from Henry Ramos in Yonkers, New York. At what point do you bring a backup audio mixer, say corporate AV gig with an XR18? Do you bring a backup unit?
Mickey, what say you?
I would say it depends. The biggest factor is time. If you're loading in 2 hours before the show, and it would take you 2 hours to get another mixer in, in case the mixer that you brought doesn't work, then you'd want to just bring the backup immediately. But if you're loading in 2 days prior to the show, and it'll only take you 15 minutes to get another mixer in case something happens with your XR18, then don't bring it in. Just have it flown in if you need it. So the biggest factor for me would be time.
Next question, excuse me.
Alrighty. Next question from Kenny Hampton in Greenville, Illinois. Considering purchasing a used MixPre 3 Mark II, it comes with noise assist plug-in. Is this an external USB dongle or software inside the box? I understand noise assist must go with a particular unit. Is this correct?
And Mickey's going to help you out here. Mickey?
So yeah, the noise assist, when you purchase a license for it, it's just exactly that, a license. All the noise assist, the smarts and all that is already in the firmware of the MixPres and the 8 series and all that, all the sound devices products that have NA. So all you're doing is loading a file that is a license file, putting it in an SD card, and then putting it in your recorder to authorize the recorder. You're not installing any software. You're not leaving a dongle in. You're just going to put in the license file, authorize it, and then you're done.
Next question.
Next one comes in from Andre Doli in Berlin, Germany. Guy, are you planning on converting the studio session recordings as a Mimo test meeting as well? It would be a very nice playground. By the way, huge thanks for providing all your cloud infrastructure to the community.
Guy's always been fabulous about helping the community that way. Guy, what do you think?
I just got to get some permissions and make sure that the hardware can actually serve this stuff up, because this is what it looks like. I was listening to it last night, and it is the dream coming true, to where you can have a live concert or studio session like this and hear and see what's going on, and see not only the behind the scenes shot, but also listen to the comms of Marcia or somebody like her calling this show. And man, it's just, Alex used the term masterclass, and what you don't know until you hear somebody like this at that level that's really directing those camera operators to get the shots that she wants, and even the eye lines and things like that you may have not have paid attention to. She's purposely getting those operators to get the shot that she needs, so when she cuts or fades over, your eye is looking at the right spot. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's always been true that when you think you know about something, you get behind the scenes and see how the professionals do it. You learn a lot that you didn't know. That's going to wrap things up for today. We're at the top of the hour. Thank you for all of your questions, one and all. Thank you to our producers, those of you who put questions in. You are the ones who drive the show and drive it by your votes on those. So we always are hugely appreciative of everybody who watches the show and participates that way. To our panelists, thank you, panelists. They're always willing to come here and freely share their expertise, and it's a huge boon to what we try to do here every time. And to finally, and not without mention, our back-end crew, the amazing back-end crew who sits there quietly and makes all this happen, and the legions of people behind the scenes, even beyond the back-end crew. You have people who are working in management, not really management, but more just doing all sorts of little tasks that need to run a community like this, because this is a pretty wide community between the Discord and everything else that goes on, the people who watch out for the money for servers and things like that, people who maintain servers. It's just a tremendous number of people who work to make this possible every time, and we hugely appreciate each and every person who works on this show. Our Talk Traversal today, this was episode 2115. We've traveled, if you needed to travel to get these questions answered, it would have been 22,000 miles, 36,000 kilometers. That is 177 million bananas for scale. We'll be back on Friday with another live show in the morning, and the Thursday night, David Paskin is tomorrow. See you then.
I was thinking of
Guy, you gave us some great homework. What should I watch first, the AMD keynote or the D-Feedback Alpha Labs?
Man, the AMD one is very long. It's worth watching that thing, not only for the visuals, it's a master class in live production, but also for the things that they unveil. It's pretty impressive. But then the short D-Feedback one's really quick. So that one you can bust out. So I'd watch that one first. It's 1 minute.
Right. Ronnie's doing his Darth Vader impersonation.
You should do the whole show like that.
See, he does
Perfectly
look at
mic'd.
He's riding with the Force.
I find your lack of...
You should have won that during the show. Dang.
Right?
You sound like you're in a tunnel, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Very nice. You put me through trauma, though, because at the end of my motorcycling career, one of the things that I was dating my wife, and we were in the outside of the coffee shop about to leave. I put on my helmet with a face mask on it, and immediately a bee flew into it. And I went, because I just snapped it on, so I couldn't rip it off. And the dang thing bit me or stung me in the upper lip. So trauma time.
Truly,
If you didn't drop the bike,
No, I did drop the bike. I dropped everything. I tried to jump off of it, try to rip.